Have you ever asked yourself if you should correct your students' pronunciation? Or maybe you've even tried fixing their teachers into teachers or made them repeat world 1,000 times until they got it perfectly?
Well, today we are here to help you understand how to promote a more equitable English classroom where students of all levels feel comfortable to learn and you as a teacher feel comfortable and know when to correct or not.
My name is Maria,
And I am Amanda.
and we are in our third year of Letras Inglês at the State University of Londrina. This video will be divided in 3 moments: the meaning of TEFL, why equity is important for the English classroom, and how to make this happen in real-life contexts.
First of all, we should define what the acronym TEFL stands for. It means Teaching English as a Foreign Language, and it's a practice of teaching English in countries where the English is not the first language.
And what does equity have to do with teaching English as a foreign language? Well, first of all, we should address some concepts and myths surrounding the English classroom, such as the myth of the native speaker. When our students or other teachers say we should speak like native speakers, what does that even mean? Usually, this refers to American or British speakers. After all, even people who speak English as their first language have different accents, and people all over the world speak English differently.
When we think about equity, isn't it more important to our students to be able to speak with their non-native accents and spend an amount of time in the classroom trying to speak in a certain way? Secondly, we should learn the difference between pronunciation and accent to understand when we should make correction related to our students speaking. Pronunciation refers to how words are pronounced, and they affect how much the listeners understand. Accents, on the other hand, refer to ways group of people pronounce these words. For example, the way American and British people pronounce the word water.
According to John Levis, we could use the intelligibility principle, where instead of pushing our students to speak like a native, we could correct their speaking only when it affects their communication in real life, such as the difference in the words live and live and 13 and 30. All of these concepts are extensively discussed by ELF, or English as a Lingua Franca, a concept that sees English as a contact language between speakers of different first languages, and Global English, where speakers modify the language to suit their own needs. In the globalized world where our students interact and live, there are many more speakers of English as a global language than native speakers. Even then, you might still be wondering, why is it important for my English classroom to be equitable? You have probably seen your students feel frustrated because they cannot say a word at first. Making learners mimic new sounds they might not even have in their native language can lead to anxiety and get in the way of their development. That's why it's so important to make our students feel confident and comfortable with the language. This way, they can use it in any context.
Shall we check how we can use these concepts inside the classroom? Here are 3 applications of equitable TEFL practice, including the students' backgrounds and realities, using examples of their own cities and other cities from around the world, not focus only in one place. For example, if you are working with cuisine from different places of the world, you can help your students reflect on their own eating habits, like asking questions, do Brazilian people eat this kind of food this way, or does your parents cook something similar to this one?
Making sure to encourage students by reaffirming that questions can and should be asked, as well as using their native language when they feel like it's necessary. Using English as a tool to learn about the world around them, not as a book of rules to follow. You can teach your students about news around the world or interests they have by using English as a way to acquire knowledge, not the only language they have to communicate.
Let's remember the main points that we learned today. We learned that TEFL stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language, a teaching practice that focuses on teaching non-native speakers. Equity in the classroom encourage our students to speak with their own accents because even people that have English as their first language have accents.
The intelligibility principle helps prepare our students for the real world, where speakers have numerous accents and we should focus on communication, not in a particular way of speaking. We have also learned 3 ways in which we can apply these concepts to our English classroom. Does it feel a little bit easier now to use equity in your classrooms and know when to correct your students or not? Please let us know in the comments or through our emails if you still have any questions. Thank you for watching.